So welcome back to Welsh Miniature Board Gamer, and this is our pre-episode. Now I can't remember actually what episode we're on at the moment because I record like weeks in advance. So I'm gonna, by the magic of digital editing, I'm gonna put in the number that we're actually doing. And you won't know because it'll be seamless. So welcome back to Welsh Miniature Board Gamer, and this is episode 4, pre-game rolls. So first of all, we have to pay upkeep. Now, we only have to pay upkeep for people who are not in sickbay, which is not that many people. We've only got 3 people in sickbay. So that's 1 credit per person. 1 credit for up to 6 people. Well, we've only got 3, so that's actually only 1 credit it's going to cost us. So we're down to 2 credits in our savings, which is not particularly great, but at least we have 2. Ship debts, ship repairs, we don't have to worry about that. We can pay for extra medical care, apart from we can't actually afford it. So then it's assign crew to tasks. Now we got Topaz, Lomas, and Kate. Now we're going to have Lomas run decoy. We're going to have Topaz look for a patron job, and Kate is going to do some repairing. So hopefully we can at least get something decent here. So is it at this point that my microphone decided to cut out on me, so I have to re-record what actually happened after that point. So Lomas did successfully work as decoy, so he did stop the rivals from finding us. Topaz failed to find a new patron for us, which was of course a problem, so we'd have to go for an opportunity job as opposed to patron work. Kate managed to repair the combat armor and decided to equip it with Kate, so we have those 3 that are going to be able to go on our mission. So when we shook up for the mission, we got small encounter, which means that one of our people couldn't come. So it actually ended up with Lomas and Topaz being the only 2 that could fight in this mission. It was -2 to the enemies, so we end up with an invasion threat from the abductor raiders. So there were 3 aliens, one of them was a specialist with an auto rifle, and there were 2 standard raiders with infantry lasers. There was a 1 credit shiny bit that we could find on the board, and also the mission was a delivery, so we had to take sort of a USB memory stick to a location in order to get paid for our mission. So we set up for our mission as Shades of Greys. So in this mission, we're going to be fighting the most devious, soulless, and evil of all aliens, the Spice Girls. I mean, of course, the Greys. I get my aliens and demons mixed up, of course, you know. Spice Girls being demons. Anyway, so we're going to have our 2 members of our crew. So Lomas is down here, and Topaz, and they have to deliver a USB stick into this tokens machine, which has been cunningly disguised by the government. The trouble is that they have to do this after an invasion of Greys have landed and sort of gone through the streets, causing chaos. That's why all these vehicles are all crashed up and burned out, etc. Now, it's meant to be clear of the aliens because they've moved through the area, but unfortunately, 3 of them are still here. Now, there are 2 that are going to be armed with infantry lasers, and 1 that is going to be armed with an auto rifle. So our crew are a bit up against it here because we're not quite as good at there as them, but hopefully this small game will play out quite quickly. Now also, there's a shiny bit here, so that is worth a credit. That's just some junk that's been left behind, but it'll be worth something to us. And if you've been following along in the campaign, you know that we need every penny we can get. So to try and seize the initiative, we are +1 because we have 1 savvy with both of our people, and we get +1 because we're outnumbered. So we need 10 or more. So we need 8 with these 2 dice. And I shook a 7, so we didn't seize the initiative, and we can go straight over to reaction rolls. No, both of our people have got reaction rolls of 1, so let's see if we shake any 1s. We shook 1-1, okay, so we can activate some 1 in the fast phase. We're going to activate Topaz, so Topaz is going to move. Topaz has a movement of 5. So I'm going to say Topaz is the one who's carrying the data that we have to deliver. So she's going to run 5. And then is going to use 2 more to dash to here. And that is Topaz activated. Then it's over to the Greys, or as they're called in this, Abductors. So now the Abductors are down here. So I'm going to tilt the camera a bit. So the Abductors get to move. Now, though, these two are the standard ones with infantry lasers, and this one is the one with the auto gun. Auto rifle, even. Okay, so they got a movement of 4. Now, they do have a huge range on these weapons, so they are going to move first of all, because this one definitely hasn't got line of sight, so he can move 4 inches. So he's going to move forward 4 inches to get him here. He doesn't have line of sight to anyone, so he's going to move another 2 inches just to get him up behind this broken down bus. So the next one with an infantry laser is going to do the same. He's going to run, well, he's going to go here with his movement. Now, because of the placement of the barrier and the cars, etc., he can't actually see anyone. So he's going to move another 2 inches and get to here. So that was the 2 with the infantry lasers. Now we got the lieutenant, or specialist, sorry, with his auto rifle. So he's going to move, because he can't see anyone either. So he's going to move up to here. Now he can see Lomas, but the auto rifle has got a range of 24 inches, which isn't enough to reach Lomas. So he's going to move another 2 to get himself here, and a little bit more with something in the line of fire between them. So then we've got Lomas. Lomas can move his 4. So Lomas can move up to here. Now Lomas is only armed with a handgun, which has got a range of 12, so he's definitely not in range. So he's going to move up 2 inches just to get him here. And that's the end of turn 1. Pretty uneventful. So over to turn 2, and we're going to see whether I manage to get either of my reaction rolls. So this is the turn counter. Okay, double 1s. Okay, so we can activate both of them in the fast phase. Alright, that's really good. Alright, let's see whether Topaz will be able to get anywhere to shoot. Okay, so Topaz is going to move up and can get Topaz here. And can now actually see this abductor by here. So actually the specialist, so the one we really would like to take out as quick as possible. So Topaz has a colony rifle, which has got a range of 18. Now let's hope this is in range. Oh yeah, definitely in range. Okay, so Topaz is got a 5+ because it's actually in the open for her from her position. So she needs a 4+ because she's got +1 to her combat. So a 4+ with her colony rifle. And I shook a 3, so she blasts away and misses the abductor. Let's hope that doesn't come back to haunt us. Then we got Lomas. Now Lomas has got his handgun, so he's not going to be within range anytime soon. So he's going to do a dash maneuver. And he's going to run up to here. So that was both of his actions in order to get behind this car. So it's the abductor's turn, and we're going to start with the specialist. All right, so the specialist is going to move, but try and get a shot at Topaz without actually exposing themselves too much. Okay, that sort of will give it intervening terrain when Topaz is firing back, so that's pretty much what it would want to do. So Topaz is in cover, is not within 6 inches. She's actually 12 inches away. So it needs a 6. They have a combat of 0, but it does do 2 shots, so they need 6s. Alright, so the first shot, shoots and misses. Second shot, shoots and misses. So yeah, blasts away with this auto rifle, but fails to hit. So next we have the standard abductors. So yeah, this one is going to move here, using the cover, and firing at Topaz, so 15 inches away. Now, because of the rules for this planet, remember we said that there was a particle cloud which affected lasers. So actually, this might come into our favor here. So -1 hit over 9 inches. So we just saw that it is actually 14 inches or 15 inches. So definitely over 9. So it needs a 6 to hit. And sugar free, so it fails to hit. So next we have this abductor. So this one, does it have line of sight to Lomas? It's going to have to move a little bit, but it'll only be like that. And it can still get cover from the bus. So yeah, it's hitting on a 6. I should go 1, so it fails to hit. Over to end of turn event, because of course, turn 2, you shake to see what happens. 15. Lost heart. The enemy has lost heart and had enough of this fight. At the end of next round, they will leave the field. Oh, wow! Okay, right. That was okay. We haven't even done anything to them, but they're still going to leave the field because we're terrifying, apparently. Okay, so first of all, let's see if we get our reactions. Maybe we'll get to kill something before they go. No, we don't. Okay, so it's over to the alien phase. So this alien is going to move up here so he can get some cover. And then he's going to shoot at Topaz, 10 inches. So yeah, needing 6s. And it gets 1. Okay, so he's definitely hit. Okay, right, so no damage on the auto rifle, but shooting at Topaz. Topaz has a toughness of 3, so fails to penetrate the armor, but does put a stun on Topaz. Then this one is going to fire also. Doesn't have to move. Will it be advantageous for it to move? I think it would be, actually. So it's going to move 4 inches and get it behind this overturned arcade machine. And they are also going to fire at Topaz. Topaz is 11 inches away. So gets the -1, so needs 6s in order to hit. Nope, shoots and misses. Then we have this one. Now this one's not going to gain anything by moving, so it's just going to fire at Lomas. low mass. So yeah, on a 6, sorry. Hits on a 6. Okay, does he cause a wound? Alright, so toughness of 4, no plus to this damage. And it shoots a 6, so takes out low mass. With a blast from his infantry laser. So that actually is end of turn. And they said the aliens lose heart and leave after this turn. So they flee, leaving Topaz to move up, deposit the information, and then pick up the 1 credit's worth of shiny bits. So with that 1 credit, we managed to go up to 3 credits worth of credits. And yeah, wow, that was a different. I was expecting it to go on a little bit longer than that. But let's see what happens in post-battle rolls. Okay, so rivals, we don't have to worry about this because they are a roving threat. Patron status, we don't have to worry about that because it wasn't a patron quest. Determine quest progression, we don't have to worry about that because it wasn't anything to do with a quest. We do have to worry about payment, and we're hoping to roll a 6 here. Okay, we shook a 2, which it says, because we managed to complete our objective, we can count as a 3. So, yeah, it could have been better, but at least we do get 3 credits. So we're up to 6 credits in our bank now. Battlefield finds. Let's see what we find on the battlefield. 80. Vital information. Invasion evidence. Okay, so for invasion evidence, we get +1 credit, which is much needed, so we're up to 7. But we get +1 to the invasion threat because obviously they are invasion creatures, and we found evidence that they might be coming. Okay, so we add +1 because we've got the invasion threat evidence, but we take away 1 because we held the field. So it's equal rolls, and we don't want 9+. And we should get 9 there. So they are invading, and we are going to have to flee the planet. After we only just really got here and started working, that is not going to be good for us. Okay, gather loot. We can see what loot we managed to find on the battlefield once it was all over. So we shook 59. Odds and ends. Roll on the odds and ends subtable. Okay, odds and ends. 22. Consumable. Two uses of a consumable. So we've got 2 uses of Rage Out. Okay, that I would have hoped for something a bit better than that, but unfortunately that's what we got. Determine injuries. Okay, so we do know that Lomas was knocked out of this game, so hopefully it's not going to be too bad. 50. Serious injury. No long-term effect, but it's 1d3 +1 turns out. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so I shook 3, so the absolute... So it's, sorry, that's 2 days +1. That's 3 turns out, Lomas is, because of his injuries. Experience. Okay, so none of our people actually killed anyone. So, Lomas become a casualty, so he gains 1 experience point. So he's up to 2 experience. And Topaz, the hero that she is, has survived and won, so gets 3 experience points. So she's up to 9 experience points. And they didn't kill anyone, so I don't get anything extra for that. So at this point, I can see whether I want to knock anything up on Topaz. Now with 9, we could knock up her reaction or her combat skill. Do you know what? For 7, I think we're going to knock up her combat skill. So now her combat is 2. So she's getting a bit more accurate with her weapon. And she's got 2 experience points. So we can invest in advanced training. No, we can't do it. We're not going to do that because we ain't got any money. We can purchase items. You may pay 3 credits. Well, we're not spending any money. Campaign event. Okay, let's see what happens in the campaign event. 88. A bit of time on your hands. The crew has a few days to do their own thing. Select 2 crew members at random and have each of them make a roll on the exploration table. Now that doesn't really make much sense, seeing that the planet has been invaded. So I'm going to give that a... I suppose it could have been happening while these were off on their mission. That is true, that could have been happening. So the only person who I could send who wasn't injured would be Kate. So yeah, we're going to have Kate go off. She went off searching while she should have been helping in this mission to have a little look around. So exploration, what did Kate find? 36. You hear a tip. You may opt to automatically track down a rival to fight this campaign turn. Well, we can't do that because we're fleeing the planet. So yeah, that's not a no-go. Okay, so character events. Okay, so anyone in our crew can do this, even if they are in the infirmary. So we got 7 people. The 7th person, so the robot. Can we send a robot on this? No, we can't send a robot. Okay, so 3, which is Lomas. Okay, so something happens to Lomas. All this endless violence is depressing for you. Well, I bet it is, because you've just been shot. The character refuses to participate in any battle during the next campaign turn, except for an invasion battle. Well, we might have got a bit lucky there then. Get +1 story point as they get a new perspective on life. Okay, so story points. We're up to 9 story points. Should have remembered that I had story points, so I could have used it to... alter the outcome for the shot, so it would have actually missed, but I forgot to do that. Okay, so we don't have to check for galactic war progression because this was the invasion, really. So the next one will be an invasion mission. So that is post-battle. So yeah, that was a very quick game. Surprisingly so, after me setting up all the terrain. But yeah, if you've liked this, please leave a like, comment, etc. And, you know, if you want to see more from me in the future, you can always subscribe. But until next time, it's going to be goodbye from me, Welsh Miniature Board Gamer.